dito.
Okay, Sean, you sit there.
Ay, mami, kamang ngam này. Nhìn ha, tới đâu.
Zaten yolumuz değişik. Oynarız yani. Sen şimdi Beren'e oraya anlatmaya başladın alacağım.
I have to wait till they're totally in. Sorry.
I'm from colonial Boston. There was a lot of confusing activity that really pushed the boundaries of polite behavior. There were protests in the streets against the king's unfair taxes, and some people were acting in a way that, well, Miss Manners simply never would have approved of. That's why I was delighted when one day, December 16th, 1773, I got invited to a tea party. I brought my best china. Everybody else brought disguises, and they threw all the tea into Boston Harbor. How rude was that? And have any of you guys ever heard of the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere? Heard of that? I was on that ride. Except I went at noontime. Much more appropriate time to go banging on people's doors, telling them the King's troops are on the move. So I was too polite to hang out with the Patriots, but they told me I was polite enough to do a Boston Duck tour and meet wonderful people like you. So everyone, a quick reminder of safety rules. This is our captain, our driver, Laurie. Let's give it up for Laurie. Laurie, I'm sorry. How impolite of me. I was getting closer. So nothing goes outside of the windows of the duck boat. No arms, legs, heads. That includes selfie sticks. P-Zakum Bucky's Memorial Bridge. A lot of words for one bridge. Locals, we call that the Zakum Bridge. Lenny Zakum was a civil rights leader. He was known for building bridges between communities. That's what was named on that bridge. Bridge is part of the Big Dig. Do you guys know about the Big Dig? The locals know about the Big Dig. For those who don't know, the Big Dig was the most expensive public works project in the history of the United States. It took place here in Boston. It took an 8-lane interstate highway that was elevated, used to cut downtown Boston in half, put the highway underground. Monument right over there in Charlestown. That's where the battle took place 251 years ago. So Boston is what it looked like back then. British are here. Here is Charlestown. This is where the fort was built. British don't like that. They sent 2,200 troops across Boston Harbor. They're going to drive the militia off of Bunker Hill. The militia didn't really anticipate an attack. They had a lot of logistic problems. They didn't bring a lot of musket balls or gunpowder with them. That's a problem. So the militia, their strategy is, if the British attack, hold your fire until they're about 30 paces away. That'll conserve musket balls and improve accuracy. 3 assaults were made by the British Army that day at Bunker Hill. First 2 assaults, the British are met by a hail of musket fire. Incredible casualties are inflicted on the British. Third time the British go, we're changing tactics, guys. Fix bayonets, charge up Bunker Hill. At this point in the battle, the militia has run out of musket balls, fighting hand to hand. The British overwhelm the militia, and the British win the Battle of Bunker Hill. So why did we build that wicked big monument to them? To commemorate a battle that we lost. Battle of Bunker Hill was the bloodiest of the whole war. The British said it was a dare-fought victory. Another such victory would ruin us. The Americans said they'd love to sell the British another hill at the same price. It showed the militia could stand up to the British Army, and it was a moral victory. Can I get a quack out after all that talking, guys? Do you mind? Tea time!
Quack, quack!
Battle of Bunker Hill. I was make this corner, everybody. Wicked cool thing to see on your left. Piece of the Berlin Wall. See that piece of concrete with a blue hat on it? Right there. That's a piece of the Berlin Wall. Kind of random. This is Cambridge right now. It's kind of random. But the company that Berlin Wall piece is on, it's EF, Education First. Their corporate motto is to break down that captain licensed and certified by the U.S. Coast Guard. Look above your heads, life jackets, yellow tabs, 94 pounds or more, use them. Under 90 pounds, red tabs. In the event we have to evacuate while on the water, go through any of the windows. If they're shut, push them open. They're only held by Velcro. You can evacuate through the windshield, through the rear. The roof retracts, you can evacuate that way. Life ring above my head. Life ring, driver's side, rear, outside. Fire extinguisher up here by me. Second fire extinguisher, driver's side under the rear seat. There's a fire suppression system in the engine compartment. Captain Laurie has a marine radio, keeps us in contact with Coast Guard, State Police, and our dispatch office. Now everybody, here's the most exciting part. We're about to go in the water. When Captain Laurie sounds the horn, I think we should put our arms up and quack it out. You guys up for that? I want to do that? Anticipation's building, very exciting. Tea time! Oh. Just like the spaceship yesterday. Well, not quite as dramatic.
I like that. Cái này happy? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Alright, can you guys still hear in the back? Is the volume still good in the back?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Charles River, everybody. This is the Charles River. The native Massachusetts people called this water body Quinneboquin in their language, and then meandering waters, meandering waters. About 1614, an English sea captain named John Smith came to this area, mapped the Greater Boston area, gave them to the royal family in Britain. At that time, in the royal family, there was a prince named Prince Charles, grandson of Mary, Queen of Scots. Prince Charles was told he could name anything he wanted to on that map. Prince Charles pointed to this river on the map, and guess what Prince Charles named this river? Charles, after himself. That's how the Charles River got its name. So today on the Charles River, hopefully we'll see some Canada geese, some real ducks, not just ducks like these, some real ducks, and some double-crested cormorants. They have long black necks, they go fishing in the water here. Oh my God, there's a duck boat to the left. You guys think you can quack out to it? Think we can make ourselves heard? All right, let's give it a shot. Tea time! Extraordinary quacking energy, guys. Very good. Very well done. Very well done. So here on your right-hand side, that is a double-crested cormorant. Great fishing bird. It's a great sign seeing that bird. It means the water quality is very good in the Charles River. That bird would not be here unless we had good water quality in the Charles River. We're coming up to the Andrew Craigie Drawbridge. We went over this drawbridge in front of the Science Museum. Now we're going to the bridge. Boats coming in from Boston Harbor. If it's a sailboat, it has a mast, or if their bridge is too tall, the drawbridge goes up to give them access to the upper basin of the Charles River. Oh, guys, ready? Tea time!
Quack, quack!
Oh, Sally. She and I trained together, Sally. We all wear silly costumes. Her costume was wicked cool. I look like an old figure. So we're in an old dam lock system built in 1908. It's no longer used as a dam or a lock. Charles River's dam is about a half mile down the street. This is all this for recreational boating. Look on either side as we come by. This is the old lock. These used to come out and close the flow of the river. Water level go down or up depending on which way Charles River's going. So the source of the Charles River is in Hopkinton. That's where the Boston Marathon begins. Boston Marathon, 26.2 miles long. I used to think the Charles River was about 26.2 miles. It's actually 80 miles long. Remember Quinneboquin, the native word for it? It meanders the Charles River all over Massachusetts before coming up here. There's some Canada geese up here. They lay their eggs inside these buckets. They're on the edge of the wall here. They're just starting to mate. So when Captain Laurie sounds the horn, just so you guys know, it's a safety measure to let people know a duck is coming. We are coming in case there's a kayak or a canoe around the corner of the flying water. Alright, we're coming to the upper basin of the Charles River. On your right-hand side, City of Cambridge, left-hand side, City of Boston. So this is where, in a moment, we can give Captain Laurie a break. And if there are any kids on the duck who would like to come up and have their picture taken driving the duck boat, raise your hand, kids, if you want to do that. Any kids want to do it? Okay, so a few kids on board. So the way we're going to do it is this. I'll call you up one at a time. Have your cell phone or camera ready. I can get a picture of you right here. And kids, if you do it, you get a sticker. You get a duck sticker. So I'm going to start on this side, work my way back, then come to this side, work my way back. Plenty of time for everyone to do it. So we're starting here. You want to come up? Oh, come on. You get a sticker. So everyone, as we get to the other side of Longfellow Bridge, what is, I think, the best view of the whole tour is coming up. City of Cambridge on your right-hand side, Back Bay of Boston on your left. It's all great photo op. It's a beautiful afternoon here on the Charles River. I'll point things out, but it's all very, very pretty. All very nice.
Where's Scarlett?
So on your right-hand side in Cambridge, that tall building with the tall fall on top of it, that's the Green Building at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. The bridge going across the river over there, that is the John Harvard Bridge, named for the guy Harvard is named after. Take a right on the bridge, about a mile that way, Cambridge is Harvard University. The red triangle on the Citgo sign, that's where Kenmore Square is located. That's where Fenway Park is located, home of the Boston Red Sox. A lot of sailboats on the river today. Nice. The tall bridge there with that bridge, tall building there with a spiky thing on the top. That's the Prudential Building, second tallest building in New England. They have an exhibit up there called View Boston. Great way to see Boston and beyond, see New England areas as well. And the other taller building with the black stripe, 200 Clarendon Street, tallest building in New England. That's where we saw our reflection earlier, Quack House. And from that church steeple all the way to the Citgo sign, all that is the Back Bay. That neighborhood all used to be underwater. Building on your right with the sailboats there, very cool organization, community boating, the oldest public boating club in the United States. They believe all young people deserve an opportunity to learn how to sail on the Charles River. They have a sliding scale for cost. Kids pay as little as $1 for the whole season to learn how to sail, and they've modified some of the sailboats so kids in wheelchairs to learn how to sail. Kind of a nice organization. When we get out from the Longfellow Bridge, on your right-hand side is a funky granite building with a yellow cupola on top. See it right there behind the trees, right there. Built in 1851, that was the Charles Street Jail, Built in 1851. In 1973, a federal judge condemned that building as being unfit for human habitation. That'd be pretty bad for a jail to be condemned like that, right? So what do you do with a jail that's condemned as unfit for human habitation? In 2007, that jail reopened as a 5-star luxury hotel. That is now the Liberty Hotel. Isn't that a funny? I think much they did that. The Liberty Hotel has embraced its jailhouse past. It has, let's see if I get this right, there's a restaurant called The Clink, a bar called The Alibi, and it incorporates prison bars into the hotel decor. Isn't that kind of fun? So everyone, back in the days when that building was a real jail, used to incarcerate people like the Boston Strangler. In 1904, a young Boston politician, James Michael Crowley, spent a little bit of time in that jail. Have any of you guys ever heard of James Michael Crowley? He's a local legend here in politics. 1904, Crowley was a young politician trying to get votes. He takes a civil service exam for a guy who doesn't know how to read, trying to get the guy a job at the post office. Well, that's against the law. You're not supposed to do that. Mr. Crowley was sent to jail. While he's distracted by someone. Didn't even come through. Didn't even know. So sometimes the geese, there's a goose in one of the buckets over there. Sometimes you'll see them popping their heads out. They're starting to hang up on this wall. There's another goose up here. It's the time of year that they start laying their eggs. Let's quack out this goose. See if he responds. Tea time!
Quack, quack.
The geese are rude. They know you. They know you all the time. Isn't that terrible? All right, heading back to the Andrew Craigie Drawbridge, going to the lower basin. try, we give back to the community. We support organizations like the Charles River Watershed Association that monitor the water quality of the river. We support the Charles River Cleanup Group. It's a group of volunteers going down the river, picking trash and debris out of the river. We support community boating. They teach kids how to sail on the Charles River. And we support several veterans organizations like Home Base. Home Base provides resources to veterans dealing with mental health issues. We do this all through the Quack Quack Get Back program. The Gabe, thank you. The company matches those donations. That's how we get back. Sorry, I'm wicked disappointed. I didn't see a real duck. I think it's early in the season. They're too chilly out there for it. So can you guys see that goose right on the ground there next to the tree stump? She's laid eggs there. She's sitting on her eggs right now. So in a couple of weeks, little goslings will be swimming around up there. You guys see this brick building on your right-hand side, the beautiful building? Is anyone staying there? Has anyone ever stayed there? No? Well, that's good news, because that's a Suffolk County jail. I know, guys, it's a terrible joke, and I'm going to tell that joke, and someone's going to stand up and say, yeah, I was there last night. It was fun. But anyway, when they closed the Charles Street jail, they had to build a new jail. That's in the West End neighborhood. The residents of the West End asked the county to make it look like a nice building, a pleasant building. People say it looks like a hotel. We affectionately refer to it as the Glamour Slammer. This polite patriot has never been on the inside of Tobin's regular prison, looking on the inside. Canada geese. Got some seagulls hanging out.
seagulls.
So it's a little chilly for the ducks. Another great view of the Zakin Bridge on the right-hand side. So Lenny Zakin, he did not live long to see that bridge open up. He died before it opened up. And he was good buddies with a guy named Bruce Springsteen. You guys know Bruce Springsteen? So just before that bridge opened up, Bruce Springsteen had a concert on that bridge in honor of Lenny Zakin, and he sang Thunder River. All right, everybody, Captain Laurie's doing a most excellent job getting us back to the ramp here. Any of you who are boaters know this is not an easy thing to go through. All right, we're heading back up to the ramp. So in a few moments, everyone, you'll feel the front wheel drive strap on to the ramp and pull us up out of the water. There we go. We're now a land vessel again. Everyone, let's give it up for Captain Laurie. Great job, Laurie. Thank you very much, Laurie. Very cool, very cool. So it's a little breezy out there, but you guys like the river? That is the best part of the tour, I think. Being on the Charles River, kind of cool. Do you have any, we have any skateboard athletes on board? Anyone skateboard? Maybe future skateboard athletes? This is the Lynch Family Skate Park. It's the largest skate park in New England. A lot of kids come here hanging out and stuff, kind of cool.